name's Audrey. I'm just here to kind of watch the event, and it's kind of a cool gathering. So I'm here to kind of see what's going on and see how it goes. I'm kind of new here, so I didn't know that this was happening, and I think it's kind of cool to bring the community together here and just have a good time and watch it. I'm very excited about the weather too. Got a lot of sun, and I'm here for a tan also, so very excited.
Excited to be here for the Lakebone installation on the Great Streets Main Street project. This is one of the final culminations of a 3-year rehabilitation of Burlington's Main Street. This $30 million project has renewed the water, the wastewater, the stormwater underground. You're seeing some stormwater facilities along the street, wider sidewalks, dedicated bike facilities, underground utilities, and great public art along the corridor. We're so excited for this moment. Thank you, Burlington, for your patience, and we look forward to decades of vitality on our new great street.
I'm Cara El-Nasraoui. I'm the director of the Community and Economic Development Office, also known as CEDO. We're really excited about not only this piece of public art, but also it signifies that we're almost done with the work on Main Street. And we do recognize that this work on Main Street has had very disruptive impacts, including broader economic impacts, but we're hoping the community can celebrate now that this generational project is done and it's beautiful, and we're hoping this summer we're going to see businesses and cafes spill out onto these new larger sidewalks and have our visitors, local and tourists, come and see some of the public art that we've put up, and we hope this generates more vitality and energy in our downtown.
My name is Moreau Weinberger. I was the mayor of Burlington from 2012 to 2024, and it's exciting to be here today because we spend a lot of time and effort planning the Main Street redesign and rebuilding, and this feels like a moment where, after many years of work, really more than a decade of work in some ways, this is kind of the icing on the cake of finishing this long-standing project. I think it's pretty exciting to see how public art is becoming a bigger and bigger part of the downtown, which is something that BCA and my office worked on quite a bit. We actually created a new public art ordinance that it requires 1% of every major public works project to be spent on public art, and so this is I think the third major new exhibit just in the last year, and there are a few more exciting installations to come. And I think the artists. I'm excited to see how the piece evolved in the time since I last saw an early kind of preliminary sketch. I think she really nailed it. It's quite a dramatic piece of art.
Kraft. I'm the executive director of Burlington City Arts.
Yeah, so what do you think of this whole event or that piece of art?
It's awesome. It's totally awesome. This is 4 years in the making, and when it was first conceived by Nancy for this project, it was like, is this really possible? Can we really carry this out? And she's an amazing artist with an incredible, thoughtful process that evolved as our understanding of what it would take to bring this to fruition would be. And the cooperation of so many people. There's so many people behind this, making this a reality. Like one person, like the railroad, could have prevented this from happening. Like, how would we get this here? You couldn't bring it by road. And plus, historically, having it come along the rail line from the old port city of Burlington, where lumber was the main economic driver in those days. It's just so fabulous to see a community come together in such a caring, loving, and exciting way.
So I'm Nancy Winship Milliken, and I am one of the artists behind this. This was a group effort. The community took part in helping create this.
So who had the original idea?
So I had the original idea. I workshopped it with several people, and BCA has been a big part of the collaboration from the get-go. Yeah.
And so how long is this piece of artwork going to be able to survive on these pedestals?
So this is a Black Locust tree, which is known as one of the hardiest rot-resistant trees in North America, and so we chose that as its species, and it's known to go for 100 years, so that's what we hope. The public art program here in Burlington has grown immensely, and BCA has been a big part of that, and I love that this Main Street project has brought art into the city of Burlington. And one of the main parts of doing public art is to embrace the community and bring joy to the community. So I hope the public art up and down Main Street will do that.
So what are the names of the people who are most involved in the project, either the artwork or the installation that you'd like to?
Yes. So Andrew Milliken, my husband and partner, has been a huge part of this project. Ben Graham has been a huge part of this project. Elliot Lothrop from the very beginning. John Higgins, Artisan Engineering. The Department of Public Works, SD Ireland. Oh my gosh, everyone really contributed in making this happen. We couldn't have done it without everyone.
So what do you think of all the people that came here to see this?
So it brings me great joy that people can celebrate something like this, that the history of Burlington, which is what this represents, the tree represents, and it means a lot. It means a lot to me that the community will embrace it.
Hi, I'm Jenny Patterson. I'm the Executive Director of the Lake Champlain Committee, and we are an organization founded in 1963. We work to protect the water quality of Lake Champlain through science-based advocacy, and we're really excited to be collaborating with Nancy around her amazing Lakebone sculpture that was installed today. What we want to be doing going forward is getting the word out about the connection between trees and water quality. So trees play a really important role for habitat while they're standing. They also help contain stream banks during times of high water and prevent runoff that causes pollution. And then even after they are carried downstream, as Nancy's sculpture represents, they continue to play a role in providing habitat and protecting water quality even after they end up in Lake Champlain. So we're very excited to be part of this collaboration, and it was amazing to see the sculpture installed today.
Hi, I'm Andrew Milliken. I am married to Nancy Winship Milliken, who is the lead environmental artist for this amazing sculpture that was just installed here, Lakebone, on Main Street. And we've been working all along together on this. She obviously is an environmental artist. I've had a 30-plus year in conservation, and we actually have put our efforts together to bring art and conservation together. And there's some really important conservation messages that we're trying to get across with this sculpture. And they include the importance of living in dead trees in the watershed and along the shoreline of Lake Champlain for the health of the lake, for water quality, for habitat, for resilience to floods. And also the fact that Burlington has this important history with trees, as it was, I think, the third or fourth largest lumber port in the world or in the country back in the 1700s or 1800s. So a lot of history here, and we also really want to catalyze conservation, and there's a lot of messaging that people will see if they look at the sign that's going to be installed and the websites associated with it that will link them to important conservation that they also can contribute to through volunteer work or donations.
Do you have any comments about public art in general in Burlington?
Well, I am so thrilled that public art is part of the Main Street renovation. I love the arch that's up in the park and this piece, and all I would say is more would be better. I think there's a great role for public art throughout Burlington, on Church Street, on the waterfront, and really using that to showcase, whether it's permanent or temporary work, some of the local artists, environmental artists in the area.
So my name is Ben Graham. I'm here at the installation of the Lakebone's sculpture here on Main Street with Nancy Milliken. I was a helper on the project, and I also facilitated the geese, which were made by puppeteer Janice Walrafen of All Together Now in East Montpelier. And they are a celebratory puppet that escorted the tree into its resting spot.
So do you do this sort of thing a lot? Do you do a lot of these, or in Vermont?
I am fairly new to public art, so it's a privilege for me to work with Nancy. She asked for my support. I'm an architect and worked with her on previous projects. But I actually am involved in puppet processions a handful of times a year. We have a great puppet community in central Vermont, and they are a great part of the ritual celebration of the seasons.
Good morning. My name's Trevian Stanger. I live in Richmond, Vermont, teach environmental studies nearby at St. Michael's College, and I'm at this art installation today of Lakebone. Feeling really impressed and in awe of it, first hits, and also is feeling it's a place I'm going to want to return to often. Just like you can look closely upon one tree, choose a tree in the landscape and get to know it through the years, through the seasons. Cool that we could do that for this one. Other first impressions is how, by getting to see the tree's entire root system, it's not something we're used to seeing other than when a tree falls over in the forest. So looking forward to kind of hanging out underneath. And also this feeling, though, of it being almost like a fossil, knowing it's going to stay in this condition for many, many years. Yes, develop a patina and weather through the seasons, but also that's what it's going to be. It's not growing, and I think it's probably not decomposing much either. I think they're trying to suspend that a little bit. So meditations on time and permanence, on forests, on how many trees we shipped out of this landscape in the 1800s and how they're all coming back either from seed or from art. So wonderful, so cool to see all the collaborators, all the townsfolk, the town workers, the concrete workers. Surely lots of red tape needed to be crossed and a lot of work to be done behind the scenes. Love this town, love the art, thankful for these folks.